Swamiji gave some basic truth about addiction from the spiritual context. Okay, so what are they? He said that addiction is nothing but an escape from life. In whatever form life presents to you, you're not ready to accept what life is showing you. And because you don't want to face the issues that you have, you're trying to escape from some issue or thought, thinking by through the destruction of addiction, you'll be able to squeeze more joy out of life. That means escapism. When you try to escape what life is presenting to you again and again and again, your inability to handle, to face life, makes you resort to addiction. So the truth is, we can never elongate the joy shelf by addicting to something. It's only by infusing awareness we can truly experience the bliss beyond any object. It means entering into the inner space where you don't need anything from outside to feel blissful. Bliss means you're happy, joyful without anything outside. Whereas joy and happiness, you still need an object or something outside to keep that joy or happiness. Whereas bliss is coming from within, where nothing is needed, you're just in the pure blissful state. Okay. Next, life with addiction is such an abusive wave of living. It is like disrespecting life, the very life itself. Okay. People with addiction are like living dead, but yet to be buried only. See, that means their life is wasted. Okay, people with addiction, their life is wasted because they're no longer able to be conscious. You see, when anything that's unconscious, they are not actually operating like a human being anymore. Okay, so living a life with addiction is like a slow death. Do you understand? You're just abusing the gift of life and destroying yourself, going on a path of self-destruction in a gradual way. Okay. Next, addiction makes you feel that if you don't do it, you feel terrible that you're missing it. You know. So if you do it, you won't feel the joy or the fulfillment. In fact, you feel guilty and powerless. So either way, do it or not doing it, you just feel horrible. That is what addiction is making you feel. Either you feel guilty and powerless because you did it again, which you know is not good for you, or when you don't do it, you feel restless. You feel like you're missing it. So doing and not doing, you're caught in this dilemma. So constantly you're put in this whole mental torture of, feeling terrible when you're missing it, or feeling guilty and powerless when you did it. So it's just it's like a mental hell. You're living in hell, not knowing what to do or not to do, you still feel horrible. So you need to understand, at first you will enjoy the addiction. Let's say whether it's smoking or alcohol, you're enjoying it. But slowly it starts enjoying you, meaning with this same unconscious pattern, you're not living life because essentially that thing has taken over, your consciousness. So you are just letting that addiction feed you, taking your life away from you day by day. Okay. And you'll be swallowed by this addiction, without you even knowing it. Okay. So that's the basic truth about addiction from the spiritual context. So especially when I see children or teenagers caught in addiction, because nowadays there are too many temptations, whether it's video game addiction, whether it's handphone addiction, electronic gadgets addiction, or food addiction, whatever kind of addiction, the children are starting to get stuck at a very young age, especially if you are all parents. Please be aware, because there are too many temptations out there, especially in the internet front, too easily accessible. When you give your child a handphone, it doesn't mean it's just a handphone for calling. It opens the door to many vices that you are not even aware. Many things get pushed into them. You're not even aware they're exposed to it. So it's very important, how to one, protect your kid. Second, how to educate your kids so that they don't fall into the trappings of these unconscious pattern.